Lewis Kemper here on a rainy day in Alaska. Seems like I've had a lot of rainy days out of the last 10 days. So while it's raining, I decided to take advantage of the weather and work on this latest video. So this is a Wanderer adventure, only this time Wanderer was parked at the airport and I flew in a small airplane down to Silver Salmon Creek Lodge in Lake Clark National Park to photograph coastal brown bears. I've been leading photo tours to Lake Clark National Park to photograph these bears for about 15 years now. And this is probably the last year that I'll be leading a group down there, so I only invited friends. During this video, I'm going to share with you what it's like to be up close and personal with coastal brown bears for a week. We ended up getting rained in at Lake Clark National Park and spending an extra 2 nights because the weather was so bad we couldn't get airplanes in to take us out. So I'm going to share the good and the bad with you at Lake Clark National Park. The adventure begins with a small plane flight from Anchorage down to Silver Salmon Creek. It takes about an hour to fly down there. 5 of us flew in on a float plane that lands on Silver Salmon Lake up above the lodge. And the other 2 came in on a wheeled plane that lands on the beach in front of the lodge. Once we land on the lake, we're met by our guide, Dave Rasmus, who's been guiding my trips for the last 8 years or so. Dave's a great guide, and he takes care of us during the week and makes sure we get great bear pictures. People frequently ask me how close we are to the bears, and I would say in this situation that you see here is actually one of our further distances from the bears. Usually we're working, I would say, more like in the 25 to 35 foot range. So that's my group standing in the back. Those sitting on the ground belong to another photographer. I'm just giving you an idea of how close we are to the bears. And sometimes we're even closer. We can be as close as 15 feet away at times, because the bears basically totally ignore the humans in this area. The main activities that my group got to see this year were bears eating grass, and bears digging for clams. There were no cubs this year, so we didn't get to see any real interaction between the bears. Okay, we got to get up at that. Here are some of my favorite still images from the trip. And this is why we got stranded for a couple of days. It was raining so hard we couldn't get planes in. Fortunately, the people at the lodge were very accommodating and were able to take care of us for this extra time because the other guests couldn't get in either. And luckily for us, when we couldn't go out and see the bears came to the lodge. And that's the good and the bad of Silver Salmon Creek Lodge. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of Silver Salmon Creek Lodge and Lake Clark National Park. I'm going to miss this place, but after going there for so many years, there's lots of places that I'm looking forward to seeing and new adventures. I'm sure I'll be back there again sometime, and until then, I have these great memories.